In West Africa, where I live, there are over 60 million small-scale farmers. The farmers I work with every day are hardworking, resilient, joyful people who'll do anything to help their children have a better life for the future, just like my parents did for my brother and me growing up in the Caribbean. Collectively, small-scale farmers are the largest group of people living in poverty today, and many go hungry each year because they don't grow enough to eat. This is what climate change is doing to crops in Senegal. Older farmers like Mustafa tell us that when he was growing up, his parents could plant a small plot of land in order to meet their family's needs. But now his generation needs to plant larger and larger plots of land to be able to keep up. When we ask why, he says, the soil's tired. Today, farms are producing less than what they used to, and many families are struggling to keep up. Climate change is going to continue to fundamentally devastate farmers' crops. Temperatures in West Africa are rising 1.5 times faster than any other region in the world. And of course, this is going to affect incomes and food security in a fast-growing region. Rainy periods are getting shorter, which means that farmers who are used to growing crops in 16 weeks now need to find new seed varieties to be able to grow in 12. And on top of that, bad adaptation, using too much fertilizer, can reduce soil fertility, which will also reduce harvests. To adapt to a changing climate, farmers need new tools. They need better equipment, improved seeds, the right kinds of fertilizer, and technical training. And they need the financial tools to be able to pay for all of this. The prevailing assumption is that farmers need grants, subsidies, or credit to be able to make these farm investments. But the reality is that credit isn't scaling fast enough. Today, it meets only 25% of global demand. And despite these other investments like grants and subsidies, we know that yields per hectare haven't increased significantly in over 4 decades. To adapt to a changing planet, every year at planting time, farmers need to invest $50 to $100 to buy, for example, an improved package of sorghum seeds, the right kinds of fertilizer, and insurance to protect them against the worst impacts of climate change. But for a farmer living on $2 a day or less, having $100 all at once would be nearly impossible. But they do have that money in very small increments. They might, for example, sell a few eggs at a weekly market or work on someone else's farm, and over time, you can imagine how that money could add up. So what if we designed a digital financial tool that made it really easy for farmers to save little by little towards this really big farm investment to climate-proof their farm? What if, for example, a farmer who sells her goat at the weekly market for $10 could save half of that towards her farm investment for the next season? This is what myAgro, the nonprofit that I founded, does across Mali, Senegal, and Tanzania. We're unlocking millions of dollars of farmers' own money and driving it towards climate-smart investments in their farm for improved seeds, fertilizer, and technical training. Together, these investments double harvest and generate a 3x return on their investment. Here's an example. This is Mustafa from Toubatoul, Senegal. These fields were planted in 2018 when Senegal was wrecked with low rainfall. That year, we received only 40% of normal rains. The field on the left was planted traditionally, and the field on the right, where he's pointing, was planted with myAgro's Climate Smart Bundle, which Mustafa could afford because he paid for it little by little. For a farmer, what you grow is what you eat the entire year. And that year, his wife shared that it was only the farm planted with myAgro's Climate Smart package that enabled them to keep their kids in school and ensured there was food on the table. Investing in making farms climate smart is a $100 billion problem in sub-Saharan Africa each year. But that problem becomes so much more manageable if we break it down into small payments and think of farmers as customers instead of beneficiaries. While small-scale farmers like Mustafa did not create the problem of climate change, they are increasingly facing the devastating impacts. Our global, urgent challenge in the next decade is to help them make their farms climate resilient. So let's scale digital financial tools designed specifically for the working poor, like small payments, and make it affordable for farmers to adapt to climate change today.